My boyfriend actually thought I was stupid enough to let him take a weekend pause to sleep with another woman. He played me for a fool, but forgot his iPad on my couch. What I did next made his own mother block his number. We were eating dinner on our 3-year anniversary when my boyfriend Henry dropped an absolute bomb on me. He took a sip of his beer, looked me dead in the eyes, and said, "I think we need a weekend pause." I froze, my fork hovering halfway to my mouth. Pause? I asked. He nodded, leaning back in his chair like he was pitching a new fantasy football rule. Yeah, just 3 days. No rules, no checking in, total freedom. I just need to get it out of my system before we settle down. Then he casually mentioned he'd be spending this pause in Miami with his new female coworker, Vanessa. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. The sudden obsession with teeth whitening strips, the expensive new gym membership, the way he had been keeping his phone face down on the kitchen counter for the last month. "You've already got the flights booked, don't you?" I asked, keeping my voice dangerously calm. He smirked, looking almost proud of himself. "Well, yeah. So are you cool with it?" I stared at him, and in that split second, all the love I had left for him just evaporated. I knew exactly what I had to do. I forced a soft, supportive smile and said, "Sure, Henry. Have a great time in Miami." His eyes lit up. He actually reached across the table, kissed my forehead, and whispered, "You are the best girlfriend ever. I knew you'd understand." The next morning at 6 a.m., he grabbed his suitcase, sprayed on half a bottle of expensive cologne, and hopped into his Uber. The millisecond his taillights disappeared down the street, I got to work. My apartment lease was strictly in my name, so I called my 3 brothers. They showed up with a massive U-Haul truck before 8 a.m. We didn't fold a single thing. His vintage sneaker collection, his oversized gaming monitor, his protein powders. We threw every single piece of his life into heavy-duty trash bags and dumped them into a public storage unit across town. By noon, the locksmith had come and gone. The deadbolts were changed. Henry was officially a ghost in my home. But I wasn't done. Henry, in his desperate, selfish rush to get to Miami, had left his iPad sitting on the couch. At 2 p.m., a message popped up on the screen. It was Vanessa. It read, "Can't believe you finally ditched the ball and chain. Ready for our romantic weekend?" I unlocked the screen and scrolled up. 3 solid months of messages. He had told her we were practically roommates, and that I was completely emotionally abusive. Oh, I took screenshots of everything. I sent the entire photo folder to his sweet, deeply religious mother. Then I dropped the screenshots directly into his fantasy football group chat with all his closest buddies. 2 days later, on Sunday night, my Ring camera flashed. Henry was standing on my porch, sunburned, wearing a stupid floral shirt. He shoved his key into the door. Jiggle, jiggle, nothing. He tried again. Then, the frantic pounding started. My phone lit up. "Babe, my key is jammed. Let me in." I watched him panic through the camera, sipping my tea. Over the next hour, he called me 22 times. His text messages shifted from confused to annoyed to completely hysterical. Because while he was in Miami, his mother had blocked his number in disgust. His buddies had roasted him relentlessly in the group chat. And Vanessa found out he lied about his salary and dumped him at the airport. He had nobody. Finally, I opened the front door. I didn't step outside. I just tossed the storage unit key onto the welcome mat. He fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "Please, I made a huge mistake. It meant nothing. Take me back." I looked down at him, completely unbothered, and smiled. "You wanted a pause, Henry." I just pressed stop. I slammed the heavy wooden door shut, locked the deadbolt, and finally breathed in the peace and quiet.